Guys, this is the Gold Coast in 1516, centuries before modern Ghana existed. Behind me are traders, fishermen, and Portuguese ships arriving for gold. And honestly, this feels like stepping into the beginning of a major turning point in African history. The shoreline is packed with activity right now. Fishermen are bringing in catches, traders are unloading goods, and Portuguese sailors are arriving from overseas. You can already feel how important this coastline is becoming. This fortress behind me is Elmina Castle, built by the Portuguese decades before this moment. Imagine how unbelievable this must have looked in 1516, a massive European stone fortress standing on the West African coast. They're literally weighing gold dust in front of me right now. This is the trade that made the Gold Coast famous across Europe. And every negotiation happening here is changing the global economy. One thing history books rarely show is how alive and organized these Akan communities already were. You can hear the drums, see the weaving, smell the cooking fires. This is a thriving civilization. I'm standing inside the court of an Akan chief right now, and honestly, the political organization here is incredible. Chiefs, advisors, drummers, ceremonies, these states already have structured leadership and influence. This is where much of the Gold Coast wealth begins, deep inside the rainforest. Miners are searching riverbeds for gold by hand, and every handful here eventually ends up fueling international trade. These rivers are basically the highways of 1516 Ghana. Traders are transporting gold, kola nuts, cloth, and food through the rainforest using giant wooden canoes. Look at the craftsmanship here. These weavers are creating cloth, carrying identity, symbolism, and status. Culture on the Gold Coast is already deeply sophisticated and artistic. Listen to this. There are no books here recording history, so stories become memory. Elders are passing down generations of knowledge through oral storytelling, and honestly, this feels more alive than any classroom history lesson. These warriors aren't just soldiers. They protect the trade routes connecting the forests, villages, and coastal markets. Without them, the flow of gold and goods across the Gold Coast could collapse overnight. Most people only think about the coast, but northern Ghana is deeply connected to massive African trade networks. These caravans are arriving through routes tied to the powerful Songhai Empire under Askia the Great. This region connected the forests of the south to the great trade systems of the Sahara. Goods, ideas, languages, and cultures all pass through routes linked to Salaga, making this one of the most important crossroads in West Africa. I'm now deep in northern Ghana inside the Dagbon kingdom, and honestly, the political structure here is incredibly advanced. There are royal courts, messengers, cavalry, and organized leadership shaping life across the region long before colonial powers arrived. The forests here are unbelievably dense. I'm following hunters moving carefully through the jungle right now, and every sound feels intense. Hunting isn't just survival here, it's skill, knowledge, and tradition passed down for generations. This storm came out of nowhere. The wind is getting violent, fishermen are rushing their canoes ashore, and even the traders are scrambling to protect their goods. You can really feel the raw power of the Gold Coast environment. I'm standing inside a Portuguese chapel built inside Elmina Castle. It's strange seeing European religious traditions here while just outside the walls, African trade and culture continue shaping daily life on the Gold Coast. These ships behind me are preparing to sail back to Europe loaded with wealth from the Gold Coast. Gold, ivory, and trade goods from this region are already transforming economies across the Atlantic world. This is incredible. The entire village is celebrating tonight. The drumming, dancing, cloth, and ceremonies aren't just entertainment. They represent identity, spirituality, and community across the Akan state. Standing here in 1516, it's impossible not to think about what this land will become. Kingdoms will rise, trade routes will expand, colonial powers will arrive, and centuries later this place will become modern Ghana. Seeing the beginning of that story with my own eyes honestly changes everything.